It's Thursday. It's day 3 of Royal Ascot, and that can only mean one thing around these parts. It's the return of the man, the king, the legend, Declan Rix from attheraces.com. Rixie, you gave us some good winners on day 1. You're obviously going to help us out again today.
Hopefully, yeah. We got lucky on day 1, so it was a good start to the week. Yeah, if we can keep the run going, we'll be happy.
Wow, nothing but luck there, my friend. Nothing but luck. DC, how did you go yesterday? Lots of rain. Didn't really go for you.
Style Hunter kind of summed up my day. Completely missed the break and ran on for a miserable 4th. So that's about it now. So not been a great first 2 days, but there's 3 days left, so we'll remain positive.
There you go. We're not even at the halfway mark yet. So let's get going. This obviously we can only start in one place today, guys. The Gold Cup, where Stradivarius leads the betting currently at 2.54, Cross Counter 4.8, DXB is 6.8. 15.0 flag of honour, call to the bar is 18.5. Rixie, I'll start with you here for Stradivarius. Like we saw him obviously win at the Match by Yorkshire Cup. I saw him personally last year at Goodwood. He seems to be kind of bulletproof right now. But is this price a fair reflection of where he is, or should he be even shorter?
I think the price, if anything, it's maybe just on a little bit of the skinny side. But he is that kind of horse. You always think you can take him on and get him beat, but he always manages to pull out more. Look, don't want to say anything too much negative about Stradivarius. This is an unbelievably tough and classy horse. To have the season that he did last year and to go unbeaten was pretty remarkable. As they say, he turned up to all the big dances and he won the all. So, I think if anything, maybe the price is maybe just a little bit short, if anything, because while it's maybe not as good a Gold Cup as last year, the softening ground at Ascot would be against Stradivarius. He has won on it, but I think he is definitely a much better horse when he's on top of the ground. So with all the rain they've had there the last couple of days, that would be a worry, although I'm just a couple of miles from the course here now, and the sun is splitting the rocks. It looks like it's going to be a lovely day.
We saw DXB at Sandown a couple of weeks ago winning the Henry II Stakes. So, been a horse I've always been kind of enamored with. What are your thoughts here with DXB?
Yeah, no, I think of those to the kind of the top of the market between Stradivarius, Cross Counter, and himself, DXB would be the one that would be the bet for me at the prices. As you say there, you kindly invited me for a free lunch that day. So we were well fed and well watered. We got to see him run. He was good. He was very good that day. And I was kind of a couple of weeks later, I went over and had a look at the card properly. His closing sectionals actually stood up pretty well to what the runner-up in the St. James's Palace Stakes did, King of Comedy. And King of Comedy was only obviously running over a mile. He was running over 2 miles. And I think from 3 out to the line, I think he was only about a half a second slower. So this guy is he's a stayer with speed basically, and that's a pretty dangerous combination. But probably given the pace that he did show at Sandown, I probably would have liked the ground to be a little bit better for him. But look, I can see him being away up there on the front end throughout. Under Sylvester de Souza, no better man from the front. And if he gets an easy time, say a flag of honour decides to drop out, he's going to be a very big danger to Stradivarius.
DC, I get the sense also from talking to you this morning, you're kind of keen enough to stay away from Stradivarius as well here.
And just at the prices, so I wouldn't be too interested. No, I back him at that shorter price. I think it'll be his 7th win in a row if he gets it today, and he does act on soft ground, but too skinny a price for me. I agree about DXB and wouldn't be fancying Cross Counter now. I think that the soft ground has probably gone against him, and I'd say he's probably been brought along for a Melbourne Cup. Again, this another go at the Melbourne Cup, so I think DXB is a good solid selection at the top of the market there, and I will be having a small place bet on Thomas Hobson as well. He's 9 years old now. This is probably his last go at Ascot, but he has a bit of course form. He's definitely stayed at 2.5 miles. I don't think the soft ground will be against him, and I think he's big enough price. He was 28.0 this morning to win, so he'll probably get about 6.0 to place hopefully later on. So I'll have a small bet on that.
All right, let's move back. We'll start with the first race today, gents. Norfolk Stakes. Sunday Sovereign here currently is betting at 2.92. Ali at 8.0, 10.0 Air Force Jet. Mount Fuji actually small but shorter just at this 42nd recording at 9.8, Expressionist 15.0, 16.5 Finchora Rebel. We'll talk about Air Force Jet first, Rixie. I think Joseph O'Brien is kind of keen on this one. It's probably one of his better ones for Royal Ascot.
Yeah, look, that's no surprise. I think this probably would be one of Joseph's best chances of the week. Look, he ran to an incredibly high rating on debut, getting the job done. Or sorry, he was just beaten. I think he was beaten ahead on debut behind a good horse of Michael O'Callaghan's. He ran to a very good level. Then he got the job done. I think he was well odds on that. The second day he won, and he didn't win like the odds suggested. But the horse that he beat by a head, came out and won yesterday at Royal Ascot. So that form looks pretty solid now. I think Joseph has been a little bit negative in terms of the ground. Again, I think they would have liked to see much better ground for him. So that's probably the negative. And on kind of collateral form lines, the horse that Joseph's beat on debut was actually kicked into touch by a horse, the favourite in this race, Sunday Sovereign. And even though, look, I try my best to get away from market leaders, but I just can't get away from this lad. His form is rock solid. He's got stamina over 6 to prove. He beat the winner of the Coventry on his second start, Arizona. His speed figures are good. He's very professional for a young horse. No problem with soft ground. So, it's kind of, if this lad was trained by Aidan O'Brien, I think we'd be talking about a 6-4 shot, even money shot. But he's trained by a man who also trains in Tipperary, Paddy Toomey. He's seriously a good young trainer now. He's doing very well for himself.
Very underrated, Rixie. Very underrated. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Paddy knows the time of day there. He's, the last couple of seasons, he's only had small strings, but when the money's down, he's won a couple of Curragh Maidens. For a small trainer, that takes a fair bit of doing. And look, he looks like he's got another proper horse on his hands.
Yeah, and don't forget, Rixie, you're actually low back favourites as well. We don't expect that 10-1 winners all the time, so you're fine there. DC, you're liking Mount Fuji in this one.
Yeah, this isn't a race now. I know too much about now, so I didn't have time to go through this to a great degree. I picked Mount Fuji basically because Roy Moore and O'Brien have landed this twice in the last 4 years with double figure prices. Sioux Nation there 2 years ago, and I think it was Waterloo Bridge before that. I had a look at. I think we were at Cork even that he won, and I thought he was a nice look. He won kind of nice enough for a horse that was very, very green. He got going very late, but once he got going, he absolutely flew away from them. So I'm after backing him at the prices now. He was 12.0 last night. He's into 9.8 now. I couldn't agree more about Sunday Sovereign though. I think that he will take a lot of beating. He was bought by King Power as well, 2 run at Ascot, and Paddy Toomey had a placed horse in both of the Irish Guineas. So it'd be great to see him get an Ascot winner and really kick off his career, I think.
Right, strong vote there for the favourite overall. Mount Fuji is, as you said, DC moving, so if you're going to back it, why you want to back it? No. Let's move on to the Hampton Court Stakes. Fox Chairman here leads the field here, 5.1. Aidan O'Brien's Cape of Good Hope, 6.0. Seen a lot of support overnight. King Ottokar, 7.4. Sanjarius, 8.4. Roseman, 11.5. 12.5. Kick on. DC, I'll stay with you for this one. Just reading your post on insights.matchbook.com this morning. I think you're liking Sangarius here even.
Sangarius, yeah, spot on, yeah. I've been a fan of him since his first 2 runs last year. I thought he looked a real proper prospect. I didn't have a great run in the Dewhurst, but I backed him at he actually ran behind King of Comedy at the Matchbook Gerard, the Brigadier Gerard evening. No, I backed him at, I can't remember what price it was, but he drifted massively. There wasn't a penny went on him on the evening. So I think they knew that he was out for the run. Again, finishing, he ran a good third behind him. I think the horse there, Roseman, finished ahead of him. I think that he'd probably be aimed at this. I can see him being a horse that's going to be a big horse for the future for Michael Stout. So I'm going to speak enough of him in this. I think this has probably been his aim since the start of the season, and I think he'll run a big race at 8.4. I think he's the one, does he?
Yeah, currently 8.4, 8.2 even, actually small bit shorter. Declan Rix, what say you here, sir, on this one?
Yeah, no, I'm with DC in this one. I'm actually pretty sweet in Sangari, so I think he should be half that price. I really do. His form, he was a very good juvenile last year. Things, as DC's already alluded to, things didn't pan out for him in the Dewhurst. I think the drop to 7 furlongs on a sharp, undulating track just didn't suit. Look, he's a big, long striding horse who travels well. The trip would be a small bit of a worry, but I think he'll trade a lot shorter. You could back him at 8s there and trade out in running. I'm sure he'd probably hit, maybe 3, 7 to 2 in the run if everything goes according to plan. He's, as DC again has already alluded to, he was a big drifter the day when he ran at Sandown. That form has been given a boost now already with the winner of that race running an absolute cracker in the St. James's Palace Stakes. Look, everything looks ready to roll for this horse. I think is a very big price. I'd be pretty keen with them. Look, I think even some bookmakers are offering 4 places in this race. I'm not sure if what you guys are doing, but I could be having a chunk each way betting him. I just can't see him out of the 4.
We have a 3 and a 4 place, and he is 2.12, just over evens in the place 4, and he is 2.8 in the place 3. So
yeah, that's I think for the place 4 there, he's probably a 4 to 6 shot.
Yeah, Rixie, just one thing I want to ask you, and obviously, I know you've been on the kind of the preview night circuit with Royal Ascot in the previous couple of weeks, but how much with the change of weather this week have you kind of had to kind of rein it back in and kind of adjust accordingly?
Yeah, no, you have to. You have to adjust. There's been a lot of rain falling here. 2 weeks ago, before the meeting started, I think they had about 84 millimeters in the space of a week. So look, you've had to adjust. But to be fair to the track at Ascot, it's held up pretty well. It's a bit funny, Ascot, because the straight track always rides quite a considerable bit quicker than the round track. The round course there, when the rain comes, it can get a bit soft. But look, you've got to make those adjustments. It depends what kind of mode you're in. If you're in anti-post mode, there's nothing you can really do. You've got to kind of bite the bullet in whatever way the cards will fall. But look, you've had to adjust. But if on the plus side, if you can make good adjustments and adjust quicker than the bookies and stuff like that, you can beat the market. So yeah, look, it's the same as anything. You've always got to make adjustments, and I know we should always be betting in the mornings to try and beat the SP, kind of 9 times out of 10. But sometimes, kind of given the way the track is riding, to see how quick how quick or slow it is, maybe betting at SP isn't actually such a negative when these race meetings are affected by weather.
Sounds good. Let's move on to the Ribblesdale Stakes even. Aidan O'Brien's Fleeting here on the Rainmore leads the betting at 2.54. Sir Michael Stout's Queen Power 5.9. Starcatcher 8.8. 10.0. Frankelina Sparkle Rose 17.0. I think you backed Frankelina a couple of weeks ago. It was in the Derby or the Oaks. Can't remember which one. Here, Rixie, what are your thoughts on this one? Yeah, look,
this has potential of a race, I think, to cut up but not cut up. To me, the front of the market is very top heavy. If you think that Fleeting, she ran an absolute cracker in the Oaks, by the way. She unbelievable run, seriously good run. I didn't actually really appreciate it till I started watching the replays back there, kind of over the last couple of nights. But she made up a hell of a lot of ground from a pretty poor position on quick going at Epsom to finish 3rd. But look, that was a huge run. She's got to back up now. What is it? 20 days later, completely different course. She's going from a left-handed undulating track to a right-handed galloping track. The ground at the Oaks was pretty quick, pretty rapid. She's now coming back to slower ground. So I think when you put all that into the melting pot, I think would it be a surprise that she runs well and finishes 3rd? Kind of shape well, and maybe Epsom has left its mark. I don't think so. So I think it's a race to maybe have a swing at, because Queen Power is another horse. She's by Shamardal. She's got a lot of ability, this filly, but she's very, very quick. Her closing section was the day at Newbury when she came from an uncompromising composition where were pretty rapid, but they were so rapid. I wonder if they go an end-to-end gallop on soft ground over 12 around a stiff track, could she potentially be outstayed? So look, if you take those two out at the top of the market, it looks a wide open race, and I'm going to take a swing in this race for on Fresnel, daughter See the Stars, who is bred to absolutely appreciate this step up and trip. She's been running well. She's been slowly progressive for a young Irish trainer called Jack Davidson. But look, she's been going the right way, and with the favourite potentially maybe not as fresh, and the second favourite a potential non-stayer for me, and this filly with decent form in the book with the potential to thrive over the trip. I think she could be a decent win and place bet here. So yeah, look, you couldn't be confident in terms of the win bet, because she's on raw form. She's got quite a bit to find with the favourite, but with the favourite backing up 20 days later, different conditions, different track. If she runs £5 below her best say, and the Jack Davison filly improves 3 or 4 pounds, the gap is narrowed, and you're getting 6-4 versus 33-1. So yeah, look, I think I'm going to have an each way bet on her, and look, you're kind of hoping that the race at Epsom has left a mark in the favourite.
All right, 26.0. I will say, I said that you tipped Franklina there. You also tipped the winner of the Oaks that time in your first appearance on the Matchbook Betting Podcast, Annapurna. So just so you think I was kind of slighting you there, Rixie, I'll just make sure we get that plug in there for you.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Never leave you down in that sense. DC, Rixie likes a big one here at a price. I'm pretty sure you like one at a bit of a price as well.
Yeah, I was. I actually had a look at the prices there again while you were chatting, and I couldn't believe the drift on Queen Power. Queen Power was, I think, 2.8 last night, and now she's out to 5.4. I thought of the top two that she was a better one, because she had been kept for this, but there obviously is a huge drifter at those prices. The one I went for was Sparkle Roll. Again, no, she was 22.0 last night. She's 17.0 there now. I just thought that her price was a massive overreaction to one bad run in the Musidora. Fresnel ran in that race as well, very eye-catching. I think she came fourth that day. Nice run. I thought Sparkle Roll was much better than her 7th place. I think she started off as a fairly sharp price favourite that day. I think she was 2.75 or something like that. But she was once she got her run going, she was blocked. I think it was Fresnel actually gave her a bit of a shoulder there and kind of stopped her momentum, and she just kind of eased off into the 7th. I thought it was a good, definitely a place play at when she was 22.0 on a small win bet. She's into 60 to 17.0 now. That's still a nice price, and I will be having a small win bet and a decent place bet at that.
All right, two big prices there, guys. Before I get you out of here, want your best bet of the day. Rixie, the people are waiting eagerly. Tell us, what are we backing today?
Look, I think the nap has probably got to be Sunday Sovereign. I think in terms of form and everything, he's clear of those. And like I said earlier, if he was trained by Aidan O'Brien, he'd probably be an even money shot. So look, be good there for a young trainer to get a big Royal Ascot winner in Paddy Toomey. He's a horse that does everything right. He's very professional, has experience. He's clear on the clock, and he's clear in form. So yeah, look, that would be the nap of the day for me.
Micheál Deasy.
I'll go for Sangaris in the second race. Another winner for Sir Michael Stout.
Sounds good. Gents, thanks for taking the time. Rixie, go get your top hat and tails on you, son. You've left it a bit late today. You've left it a bit late. I've heard some rumours about Car Park 2 again, so I don't know if substantiated there, but have fun today, and we do appreciate you taking the time. And thank you for watching us this morning, and best of luck with your Royal Ascot bets.